How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Just a note about today's episode, we're talking about a maybe crime. You know, crime's only a crime when a court decides it's a crime, and the person we're talking about is still alleged. So bear it in mind as you listen to this episode.
It's also a romance scam, so happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Okay, whatever, guys. Here we go.
Welcome to What the Hack, a true cybercrime podcast. I'm Adam Levin.
I'm Beau Friedlander.
And I'm Travis Taylor.
Christina La Barbiera, thank you so much for joining us today. Where are you coming to us from?
I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey.
Travis, do you have any idea how small a state New Jersey is?
I mean, I've seen a map.
All right, we're about to find out. Ask Christina how she came to be on this show today.
So how did you end up on the show today?
Adam recognized my name from the property he was selling.
Wait, you mean the property that somebody was trying to steal 2 times?
Yes. Yep.
So if you missed the episode, Adam used to own a property on the Jersey Shore in a town called Manahawkin, and someone was trying to steal it for a while, and we did a really good episode about that.
And after that was all sorted out, Christina's uncle actually purchased the property.
Yep. Yeah.
So Travis, the answer is New Jersey is tiny.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Your scam wasn't a real estate scam like mine. I mean, it was a scam involving your ex-boyfriend who you met on Hinge.
Yes.
So take us back to where you first connected with him. What's your meet cute in this story?
Well, I mean, there was not exactly a meet cute because the way these apps work, you're talking to many people at one time. So I actually started the conversation. And then it quickly moved to text messaging within a few hours. And it was a funny person.
Is it uncommon to go to text that fast?
No, I think that if someone is really interested, they will go quickly to text messaging because I feel like it's a little easier to access that.
If you know you're going to meet with them, you go to text.
Yeah.
How long had you been on Hinge? Or actually, how long had you been on dating apps?
So I actually was in a relationship prior to the pandemic, and March 11th, it ended, and then the pandemic started. So I've been on and off of dating apps for almost 3 years at that time, you know.
And you were on Hinge for 3 years?
Yeah, on and off. I mean, you know, that's just a resource. It's not the main way. I mean, I don't have a problem meeting people in person or through social media or friends, but that's just another avenue to meet other people.
What did this guy do online? How did he present himself?
He presented himself as a hard worker, newer in the business, trying to make his way. He seemed very entrepreneurial. He said he had multiple businesses, including a dog care and dog walking. And then obviously the new big thing is everyone is an online gambler. So that was another thing. And he had made a business out of it as far as doing consultations. So he would consult with someone, give his picks, and he said he made 20% off of whatever they won.
Everyone goes to these apps for different reasons. Some people want something casual, some want something weird, and some people want a relationship. Was this the case for you? Were you looking for a relationship?
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a relationship person.
How soon after being on the app did you actually meet? What's his name?
Rob,
in person.
I would say 2 weeks.
That sounds pretty normal.
When I first met him, his story was that, you know, his stepfather was about to be getting this major back surgery and they've tried multiple times for it. And he said, listen, I just want to let you know, my life's so hectic. This is what's going on. he had medical issues. We actually were supposed to get together the week prior, but then, there was not an excuse, but at the time he had said, that's what's going on in his life. So it kind of got pushed back a week or so.
Did you ever meet anybody else in his family?
No, because they were either sick, he wasn't speaking to his sister. He actually had a tattoo of his sister's name that he was getting removed. That's how bad his relationship was with her, he claimed. His father, he didn't speak to. And his stepfather was supposedly in the hospital.
So drama from the beginning.
Drama from the beginning, but I think it's also important to know that during the pandemic, my mom was diagnosed with 3 different cancers. From breast cancer to kidney cancer to she was in Sloan Kettering getting bone marrow transplant for a month. So for me, he found someone who he was telling these stories to who had sympathy for it and compassion, because I was going through things like that at one point where my life had to change and that had to be put first.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So when you first met, how did he know you? Did he immediately tell you his sob story about his family and how he wasn't getting along with anybody?
He did tell me right away about this condition. He had claimed that he was diagnosed with advanced cardiomyopathy about a year ago.
It's a big deal.
Where he has 50% of his heart capacity and that he needs a pacemaker. You might need an ablation. He claimed he was on new medications.
And this was right away when you met him?
Yeah.
Now, is he a 75-year-old person or is he your age?
No, he's only 30 years old. There's no age really for something like that. A lot of times it's something that's genetic. I think that he was setting it up so that way every time there was something that would go awry, like you can't make a statement about someone say, hey, you blew me off, or hey, we couldn't make plans today because of your family's health. You can't say that as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, that's, you have to be understanding.
Right.
So that's why he chose such a intense thing or a large topic, because he knew that you can't get mad at someone for that.
So where are we going? What did he do?
He stole money from me.
So you're saying he conditioned you to get you in a position where that could happen, yeah?
Yes.
Now, how long was the relationship at the time that he started asking for money?
4 months into the relationship.
And did he meet your friends and family during this time, or was most of his communication just with you?
Just with me. A lot of people always say, why didn't he meet your parents? And the truth of the matter is, I'm not bringing anyone home.
Why would he?
It was too soon. I don't think that that's right, especially now in my life. I'm going to be bringing home my future husband.
Was anything seeming suspicious about him during this point, or did he seem pretty much on the level?
No, to me, I just saw someone, again, who was entrepreneurial. He had a lot of things going on. When someone tells you their heart condition and why they're so tired is why sometimes they kind of disappear for a few hours because they're falling asleep. Now I would call bullshit. But again, I really thought that this guy, and the irony is, you guys are going to laugh, but not laugh, but the, again, 6 degrees of, commonalities. My grandmother had cardiomyopathy, or a form of it. He quickly became like a best friend because he was very open to listening. He loved to talk too. And obviously I'm a big talker, but he valued the family members that he was close with, even though he wasn't close with all of them. The ones he was close with, he valued and he treasured, especially his mother, had compassion for her and everything that she was going through, supposedly. He was just funny. And again, I saw in him someone who was a hard worker. I value that because that's how I was raised, and my whole family has been. My family came here in the 50s off the boat, and they had to start from scratch.
Yep.
So for that, I had admiration that I thought he was a really hard worker. I thought a hard, hard scammer.
So it sounds great. It sounds like a match made in heaven, actually.
Yeah, we had the best time. That's the thing, is he literally wasn't my best friend. So like I said, I shared everything with him. I thought what he was sharing with me was also genuine.
Yeah. And when you say he was your best friend, how fast did that happen? Did you feel like that way? Did you feel that way? Oh, this is my best friend, like right away or pretty quick?
I think pretty quick just because, again, we had again, it's sad to say this because now I think about who he really is, but we had similar personality traits.
Yeah.
The good stuff, and he was very attentive. That's the other thing too. So, and I hate to use this term, but he was a love bomber, and I ate that up at first. So I think what's important to understand is that when we first met, it was very like hot and heavy, like one of those. And he had told me from the beginning, my plan is to eventually end up in Miami. I would love to live there. And I go, oh, that's nice. Like I have family down there. My best friend lives down there. I'm in the middle of getting my Florida real estate license. This isn't something I'd rule out if you and I became serious.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtuo coffee machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Christina, you and Rob were getting serious. You were talking about starting a life together, maybe even moving out of the state together. When did things start going sideways?
So when it really started asking for the money was after we went down to Miami to look at condos together, because he said, I'm going to buy the condo. You can go back and forth until you get settled down here. I mean, we literally met with real estate agents.
Okay, so he says he's going to buy a condo. Christina, I need some money to do that?
No.
Okay. So he's buying a condo, which would suggest he has money.
So being a real estate agent, when you're applying for a mortgage, your lender looks at everything you did. You can't buy a car. You can't spend large amounts of money. So from the beginning, my lenders tell me what I could spend, what I can't spend. And this is the story that's going on and on the whole entire time we're dating. Okay?
Right, because he has to keep bank balances the right amount and all of that.
Yeah. So he's telling me this. My lender is my friend, like on and on and on. Okay. So he gets to the point now where it's, okay, I'm going for this. Now I have to pay $7,000 a month for my new medication and my insurance doesn't cover it. So now I have $7,000 extra a month that the lender has to look at that I have to take out of my own pocket. I'm not going to go, I don't know this truth. I'm not going to go speak to his insurance company. These are things you just believe as someone who's your partner, who's claiming that they're going to marry you. We're going to do real estate in Florida together.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Because he did help me get my license down there. So all this has been planted the whole time. We're sending back and forth condos. We go see them. And now he has this whole elaborate story that he can't show he's spending a lot of money. We go to Florida. I come back home because I still have work here. He claims he's going to stay there, try to get also maybe a more 9-to-5 kind of corporate job. That way he has income while he's trying to get his real estate life going down there as well, his career.
He told you about the fact that he had an extra $7,000 a month that he would have to pay. The insurance company wouldn't cover it. Did he ask you for the $7,000?
Nope.
So during those first 4 months, you liked Rob. It was the start of a relationship. We now know it ended with a scam. But at the time, you were all in at this point?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a future together, mental intimacy, the things we're sharing. We're trying to make a life together.
Now, there's also financial intimacy because he's telling you what his financial situation is and what his needs are. But he has not asked you for money yet.
No, never.
Okay. So, and were you in love? Would you say you were in love at this point?
I was with what I thought he was.
Well, that's all you have to go on.
Yeah.
Now, then what happened?
I come back home from Miami And maybe a week later, he sends me a text and he says, listen, we're putting the offer on that place in Aventura and the lenders are looking at everything. Do you mind sending me $5,000 for this month for the Airbnb? Because I don't want them to see that I'm spending this much money. At this point, I'm like, all right, he's good for it. Because my plan was in a week or two, I was going back down there with him. Well, to see him,
So $5,000 and you might even be staying there too.
Yeah, no, definitely staying there too with him.
And how long had he been in Florida before he asked you to contribute the $5,000 to the Airbnb?
It was probably not more than 2 weeks after I left.
Had you actually seen the condo you were both planning on buying?
Yeah, we met the real estate agent. I actually picked it out, and I had a friend of mine who's a real estate agent down there who kind of sent it to me and said, this is a really great building. We have a friend who lives in this building. So again, now it's, now he claims he's negotiating on the condo. We're not seeing eye to eye. Like, you have to come down here. We have to look at other places. I don't know if this one's going to work out. So he goes, and now it's like 2 weeks later. He hasn't really said anything about me coming down yet. We're supposed to start a life together down there. We're supposed to live in condos. And every week it's something else. Well, I started this new job trial for 2 weeks at Civic. It's some commercial company down there. Like, yeah, no problem. Whatever. I'll do work up here. Eventually I'll come down. I'm going to extend the Airbnb again. Can you send me another 5, 6, whatever it is? I'm like, yeah, no worries, whatever. Okay. So I think the biggest chunk of money that he had asked for was, we're going to have, this is what he said to me, we're going to have a networking event because he's getting into Florida real estate. I am. It's going to be on a yacht. I've already got sponsors.
So he asked you for the $5,000, right?
Yep.
And then he asked you for a big chunk of money. And how much money was that?
Altogether, the event would probably be if I had to do the math, $15,000 right there.
So, Christina, after he started asking you for money, did you ever physically see him again? Were you with him at all?
No. And there's a lot more to that. It turns out the whole time he was here in New Jersey, he was actually living with another woman.
Oh.
And so when he was telling me, my dad got transferred to Langone, my mom is staying with me, I hear her crying at night, the whole thing, he's actually living with another woman who's paying the rent.
In New Jersey?
In New Jersey, at the address that I've met him at. We've met there multiple times, so it's very awkward to think about it. But then it gets better. Another girl had reached out to me that he was with her from August until November.
Adam, I have to ask you a question. You asked if Christina had seen him after the money requests began, and she said no, and you seemed to know she was going to say no. Did you know that he was a scoundrel that was dating several people?
I didn't know that. But I do know that the way scammers work is they set the table.
Yeah.
And then they start the asks. And the minute the money starts flowing, that's the last time you actually physically see them. Doesn't mean you stop hearing from them, but you don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
And when did you start to get suspicious of this guy?
So I think that the thing here that's pretty incriminating is that I'm speaking very logically now. But at that time, I was emotional. You start doing so much that you want to believe it's true and that this person has your best interest. So the suspicion was probably when he set up the next ask. Throughout the whole entire time he was here, he would tell me about his ex-girlfriend that he used to live with. Mm-hmm. And he said we broke up and the breakup wasn't very good. He goes, I may or may not have broken down her front door. And she went to go press criminal charges, and then she took them off the table. That happened in Colts Neck, New Jersey. I ended up paying her restitution, but we're still very good friends and we talk every day. So he has this story set up that his ex-girlfriend called the cops on him, whatever. I get this is great. I book my flight. My dad's going to drive me to the airport. An hour before I'm supposed to leave, he goes silent. And I get a text from him, Houston, we have a problem. He tells me that he's pulled over in Boca Raton, Florida, and that it's because that incident that happened in Cold Snack, they never closed it. There's still a charge. And he needs to be bailed out of jail. So that's the next ask. Can I bail him out of jail?
How much was he into you when you started? We know about the 5,000 and then the 15,000.
Yeah.
Was the bail request the straw that broke the camel's back?
That was the last exchange of money. But again, this whole time, he was telling me, when you come down, I'm going to give you the money. I have cash. Or my mom is going to transfer the money to you, to your account. Then he actually goes as far as to say, I'm going to wire you money from my betting account. And he goes, I'll give you a little extra too, and you can invest that however you want, because that'll be for us, for our future. I actually have an email that he sent me with my routing and everything.
So you don't smell a rat necessarily now. You're thinking maybe he's got bad luck, this guy?
Yeah, I mean, he set it up. He was set up the story for months. All these stories were he set up for me. So when they happened, it's like, wow, he did tell me about that. I guess that was true.
And what did you think to yourself?
At this point, it's like, this is a lot of drama. Now, like, I'm actually getting physically sick because I'm worrying about someone who might die, who now is in jail. I was exhausted from this guy now.
And did you leave him at that point, or did you keep going?
Oh, I kept going. I think that everyone kind of has their thing, obviously, but for me, it was like, I can't walk away from this person right now if he's going through a hard time. If this was really true, I feel terrible for you. That sucks. Because not to say my life is great, but I've never gone through any of that stuff in my whole entire life. I've never been in jail. I think I got a speeding ticket twice. You know, I don't know that life. That's not my life story.
So when he asked you for the bail, what form of payment was he requesting?
He wanted it wired directly as an account because he goes, I made really good friends with the supervisor because he feels bad for me because he knows that this is all such a big mix-up. So he let me have my cell phone. That's why I can text you right now. I'm actually sitting right next to him. Okay. He goes, so for it to work, he goes, I don't want to put it on my Amex. I can't show this charge going out. He asks for me to put the money into his account. It could take up to 24 hours. So I sent him a wire. The woman at the bank is like, are you sure this isn't like a scam? And I was like, no, this is my boyfriend. He's in trouble.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
I want you to take us from where we are now to $70,000 in the end.
Oh, the bail was $12,000.
You're up to like $30,000 or $40,000 now?
Yeah. So then it gets better. So we were, again, the whole time since I met him, I have tickets to the Drake concert at Kaseya Center, September 29th. He goes, we're going to go. I have like 5 tickets or 4 tickets. We'll invite 2 people to come with us. Since April, he said he had these tickets, okay? He got them through Amex, pre-sale. The concert was rescheduled from February, so it's going to be in September, and we're going. And that's why I was flying down also. He's had the tickets for months. So now, because apparently, you know, he's in jail and not released yet, he goes, obviously, we're not going to the concert. I can get the tickets refunded. I don't want to refund them back to my credit card because, again, I don't want to show the lender I'm spending all this money. You know, I don't want them to even ask, where is this coming from? So he goes, can I have your credit card number? I will, because I owe you money. Because he goes, even though the online betting wire didn't hit your account yet, I still owe you money. So I'd like to give you the $6,500 back for those tickets.
Makes sense. So now you've given him your credit card number.
Right.
So now he has my credit card. So he goes, the woman on the phone is telling me that it's going to be pending for 3 days. So it'll look like a charge, but then it's going to be refunded on your card.
Okay. Wow. So he's just walked right into being a straight up criminal at this point. And what was the amount of that charge?
$6,500. They're like really good seats at this concert I really wanted to go. That's what I'm most pissed about.
Right.
So we've gotten now up to, it still sounds like we're only in the 50s. Where's the last $20,000 come from?
Well, there's a lot from, so I think another thing to understand is this time I'm working, I'm running around, I'm out with friends. He'd be asking me for money and he'd be like, oh no, they don't take Apple Pay. It has to be Venmo. So I would send him money on Venmo.
So it just kept adding up. When did you realize it was a scam?
I realized that this guy was a scammer when he claimed he was coming up here to Jersey to his court date because of the Colts Neck incident and why he was arrested down in Boca, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is what time my flight comes in. Now it's 7:30. I stopped hearing from him. Like, all right, the guy, he's probably asleep on the plane. I'll see him at the airport. Newark Airport, I show up to. The flight he picked came in at midnight. He's not there. I sit there for like 20 minutes, calling him, texting him. He's not there. At this point, I'm like, what is going on? And I don't hear from him. The next day, around 1 o'clock. Well, first, I'm sure you all use WhatsApp. Okay, so WhatsApp shows you the last time you were on. I look at his WhatsApp, which we never used before. It says last seen 1 p.m. 20 minutes later, I get a text from him. And he says, I'm not okay. We'll call you when I can. And I'm, of course, are you okay? Like, what's going on? 24 hours later, still can't talk. I'll let you know when I can tell you everything. And at this point, my family members are attorneys. I've already called them. I'm like, something is not right. Sure enough, the next text I get 24 hours later, oh, I'm on my way to the airport. My friend Matt's driving me. And we get jumped at a taco stand when we're in his Lamborghini truck. I said, really, on your way to the airport? Again, there's a problem? You get jumped in a Lamborghini truck going to a taco stand. Like, I'm like, what? And then he goes, yeah. And then Matt had an unregistered firearm. So I had to take the fall for it. And I'm just thinking, why did you have to add that to the story too?
You're like, I was almost with you.
I was just like, and then he goes, I'm going to need $5,000. So because I don't have anything. I don't even have my license. They took my wallet. I'm thinking to myself, they didn't take your phone? I'm just like, geez, at this point, I'm like, like I really got myself into some shit. Like this guy so my family member advises me to play along at this point because you want him to incriminate himself. At this point, my family members are still thinking maybe he's going to actually give me money or whatever. So I kind of keep the conversation going. And then at one point I just said, listen, this is over. You need to give me my money now, or we're going to drag this on for 6 months in the court system. I said, you already know one of my family members are attorneys. Oh, I'm good for it. I'm flying up. My tickets for next Friday at 4 p.m. or something like that. I'm like, okay, now this is like early October. Nothing. Reach out to him a week later. You never reached out to me. Are you coming up? Yeah, I'm coming up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now I'm going down to Florida for work. I have clients that want to see a condo down there. I am coming down to the Miami area. Please let me know when I can meet you. Never hear from him. Second to last day I'm there. When can we meet? Nothing. Disappears.
We heard just the other day, Christina, that he finally has shown some willingness to face the music and maybe on his way up? Or do you think this is going to be, is he going to get held up at a taco stand in a Urus again?
So right after that whole incident, when I went down to Miami and I made it easy for him to meet me, that was a Sunday. Monday, I'm at my local police department and I'm telling my detective everything that has gone on. And, and I hate to say it, but my naivety with the credit card is actually what got him a charge, because that's credit card fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He still has not answered my text message for when I was in Miami. 30 minutes after I leave the police station and the detective says he's going to call him, I coincidentally get a text from him. I'm coming up this weekend. I will pay you in full. From there on out, nothing. Every week I'm texting or emailing the detective what's going on. Well, I can't get a hold of him. Do you think he was going to answer you willingly?
And how long ago is this?
This is the end of October, early November.
As things stand now, where are we?
So the detective had emailed him and he finally said, I'll give you a call. So he called the detective and the detective said, listen, where are you? He goes, I'm in Miami. He goes, okay. He goes, well, you have two choices. Either you come up here and turn yourself in, or you run the risk of getting stopped somewhere down there and you end up in Dade County Jail for months before you could be located here. So your choice. And he claims he's coming up here to turn himself in.
So, and that was recent.
This was Tuesday or Wednesday.
So here's the deal, Christina. I am hoping that we can give you, for Valentine's Day this year, the arrest of Rob.
Yeah. I mean, when this all first started, I was trying to do the best to save my mental state, okay? And my friends would ask me, why aren't you getting mad? Why aren't you doing something? And it wasn't until we tried to serve him at where he said he lived, until a process server said, his ex-girlfriend says he moved to Miami. I made a call to his Colts Neck ex-girlfriend. And I'm like, excuse me, is this such and such? Are you ex-girlfriend? Yes, I am. My name is Christina LaBarbiera. I'm not sure if you know who I am or not, but I am looking for Rob. Do you know where he is? Well, we talk every day. I think he's in the Cayman Islands. She's going on and on and on. She goes to me, were you aware that he had a child? I'm like, excuse me? She goes, yes, he has a child. I'm like, oh, okay. No, I did not know. Oh, because he told me that you knew. I said, no, I had no idea that this person had a child. She's like, they're in the Cayman Islands right now. And he's upset because his friends down in Florida aren't talking to him anymore. I'm like, why? Because they said he took money from them. So she tells me the name of the individual who was claiming that Rob also got him for some money. So I reach out to them. They said he took them to dinners at some of the nicest restaurants in Miami, paid for it. And they said, we thought something was odd that he was only using Apple Pay. Then it turns out there was another dinner and the money had run out. So he stuck this guy, Matt, somehow with a $12,000 bill. Oh, Matt, I'm going to pay you back. You know, I'm good for it. Don't worry, I'm going to pay. The same exact things he said to me, he said to his friend, Matt.
So, okay. We get it. This guy is like lower than low.
Yeah.
Has this experience changed your perspective on dating? What did you learn that's going to take you into the next relationship?
Slow and steady wins the race. And also maybe hire a private investigator.
It's cheaper than what you went through.
What advice would you give people who might suffer the same fate that you've suffered?
I think the biggest thing is, and I know this sounds terrible, but you can't always be so compassionate and understanding. At the end of the day, I should have put my own feelings first, because as a woman, we're nurturing. So when we see someone that might need something or help, we want to nurture. That's how I was raised.
And if you find that the relationship is all the energy is going in one direction, that you have to ask yourself, is that what you want? Do you want to be in a relationship where the only thing you're getting out of it is an opportunity to nurture somebody?
Yeah, no, I was exhausted. Well, as soon as I was almost happy we broke up, I'm like, oh, thank God. That was exhausting. Never mind the money, mentally.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm hearing. So, you know, this Valentine's Day, if you're out there and you're looking for love, if it's tiring, that's not love.
No, definitely not.
I'm exhausted. Rob, screw you, man. You just cost me a year of my life. So I can't imagine what you did to Christina, jerk.
I have more gray hair.
So listen, Christina, we can't thank you enough for sharing your story with us. A lot of people need to hear this to understand that there could be a lot going on behind the scenes in relationships that they think are going in the right direction that may well not be. So we truly appreciate you taking the time. And listen, since you're in the real estate business, if anyone would like to contact you for either real estate or to get advice on how to deal with a situation like this, how do they get in touch with you?
The best way would be through my social media. They could follow on my Instagram, Christina LaBarbiera Real Estate. It's probably hard for them to spell, but...
And that is LABARBIERA. And
yes,
if you meet somebody who immediately asks you for your credit card number, don't do it. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Christina.
So do you think he's a scammer or a sociopath? I know what I think.
I think he's a scammer.
Oh, he's a sociopath.
I think he just sounds like a scammer, but what makes you think he's a sociopath?
Same thing that makes me think both of you are sociopaths. He lacks empathy. He lacks empathy. He's a sociopath. This guy has done it not just to her, but to other people. It goes beyond scammer and goes beyond scumbag to somebody who probably can't even help it.
Do you think he went on Hinge looking for a target, or do you think this was more an opportunity?
Dude, this is the frog and the scorpion. He asked for a ride across the river, and the frog was like, no. And he was like, I promise I won't sting you. And he stung him because he's a scorpion.
Well, whether or not he was an alleged scorpion, it sounds like he did a lot of real damage, and both financially and emotionally to Christina.
Christina's story and Donna Hayes' story, you remember from an earlier episode, shows that with a romance scam, this is not just online. I mean, it can happen with somebody who you are going out with.
Yeah, well, only being online is clearly a red flag, but yeah, you're right, Adam. That's not just limited to that. Some people will be robbing you blind when you meet them in person, too.
With that very cheerful thought in mind, it's time for our tinfoil swan.
Our paranoid takeaway to keep you safe on and offline.
Allegedly.
What's on your mind this week?
Let's talk about Valentine's Day.
Ugh.
Travis, really, do you like any holidays?
I like Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Brr. Is that real?
Yep, September 19th.
All right, let's see what you got, Travis.
Darn me hearties. Let's keep the story going, says I.
Anyway, since we hear a lot about romance scams, I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about how to avoid getting got by one.
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind is stay on the app. When you're communicating with someone and they ask to move to another app, it might be WhatsApp, Telegram, or another one. It doesn't really matter. Consider it a red flag that you're communicating with a scammer.
And if you're pretty sure you're dealing with a scammer, report them to the app.
You might also try doing a reverse lookup of the person you're communicating with using one of their profile pictures. Scammers will often take someone else's photo to create a phony identity.
Like we had Brian Denny on the show, you can try the site PimEyes as well, right?
Yeah, right. PimEyes is a very good place to search for signs of this sort of image use. It's not foolproof, though.
If you use Chrome, all you need to do is right-click a photo and click Search Image with Google.
And if you see that same photo correlated with information that doesn't match, ding, 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 be careful.
The image could also be AI generated. If there aren't any other pictures of the person online, you should also think twice about that.
Checking to see that someone is who they say they are might sound a little stalkerish, especially if you're just starting to communicate with them, but it's really necessary if you want to protect yourself.
And here's a biggie, memo to self. Don't give someone you've never met money, no matter what song and dance they tell you, or if they have multiple excuses why they can't meet you in person.
Red flag.
Another red flag is love bombing. Romance scammers make you feel like you're the only person on earth. They bond instantly. They escalate fast. Skepticism is not romantic, but it's a good thing to be when you're on these apps.
Yeah, falling in love makes people stupid, which is why romance scams work.
And that's our tinfoil swan. What the Heck with Adam Levin is a production of Loud Tree Media. You can find us online at adamlevin.com and on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Adam K. Levin.
Loud Tree.
Behind every empire are the people history tried to forget. Lost Roman Heroes tells the stories of the remarkable characters who shaped Rome from its mythical beginnings to its final fall.
Each episode blends armchair storytelling, sharp historical insight, and a bit of humor to bring these lost figures to life. From generals to scientists, from rebels to empresses, from priests to politicians, these lost Roman heroes have one thing in common.
They stood up for civilization when the bad guys threatened, and in doing so, they changed the course of human history. If you're into history that's vivid, surprising, and deeply human, this show's for you.
Behind every great meal is a person with a story to tell. Hear them on Culinary Characters Unlocked, the podcast that reveals the lives behind the food. Hosted by me, David Page, Emmy Award-winning journalist and creator of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, as I talk with everyone from culinary legends to mom-and-pop standouts about the creativity, grit, and passion that shape the food we love. Follow Culinary Characters Unlocked on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.